For more than 3.5 years, Facebook friends, you have let me into your lives. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my faith and my hope in God's promises. We shared many of Jesus' stories, inspiring and challenging stories. Jesus often said things, though, that shocked the crowds as he turned their world upside down. One day, he told his disciples a strange story that was so unlike him. It seemed as if he was making a hero out of someone dishonest. A manager was caught with his hands in a cookie jar and was about to lose his position and his job for skimming off some of the money owed his employer. His employer put a swift end to his thievery. But he was a crafty person. He ran one last scam in order to buy some help and support from his employer's debtors. He cut a deal with them, and it worked. Not only do the people who owed money to his boss get a better deal, the steward himself has regained some status in the eyes of his employer because he was so clever. Money. Why does it always come down to money? Money has such a powerful influence on us, and many of us will do almost anything to get more and more of it. It can distract us and even corrupt us. Jesus warns us that we cannot serve God and money at the same time. Jesus tells this parable to remind us that we should work hard at doing good as the dishonest people in the world are doing, or at doing evil. We are all managers to some extent of our own lives. Life is a gift God places in our hands, and we make many decisions about how to use that gift. How often do we thank our Creator who gave us this gift of life? We Americans are truly a blessed nation. Do we ever wonder why we are so blessed? Are we good managers of all this bounty? How are we at sharing? We are just visitors on this planet, and we are here for a short time, so we dare not use up all our resources. We have to concern ourselves about the very existence of future generations and be good caretakers of our earth. Faith and trust in God has to be our driving force. Of course, we should be concerned about our future. We have to provide for our families, be able to cover our medical and education expenses, and lots more. Let us not forget that we also need to concern ourselves about growing spiritually and growing rich in the eyes of God. This parable should make us reflect on how to use money and the things that money can provide. The society we live in is doing its best to convince us that we need to do whatever it takes to satisfy our desires for money and possessions. It's the only thing that counts. But Jesus reminds us that what we have is not so much ours by right or entitlement, but rather by God's sheer generosity. And he cautions us that what we have earned, saved, and purchased is not just for us. Unfortunately, we would rather believe what the children of this world tell us. So we work hard at building up our resources because we are convinced that our security and happiness lie in having more than we have now. How much do we need? How much is enough? But Jesus comes up with a better question. What profit is there for one to gain the whole world, yet lose his own soul? Eventually, we will have to let go of whatever it is we cling to, no matter how hard we worked for it or how successful we have been. We all live in this world. It is where we make our living, where we raise the children, where we strive to be happy, where we do what we can for others, and where we die. Jesus urges us to pay attention to the consequences of our daily actions, and that we need to take a quick and decisive action now to correct our ways. We are children of the light, so we have to provide for our spiritual lives just as seriously as people provide for their material needs, because our life on this planet is just for a short while, to be continued in God's heaven, a place I'm sure we all want to come to one day. God bless you.